Welcome back, everybody. Everybody here once again. This is Titans Tube. I'm Justin, and this is Jake with me as always. And oh man, week 18, we did it, Jake, all the way to the end of the line for some teams. But if you're a fan of the Tennessee Titans, this is not the end. Of course, let's not speak some foolishness here. Yeah, man. So last week of the regular season. Hope everybody has had a great New Year's, et cetera, et cetera. All right, Jake, if you would do the honors, I believe you have our records tallied for us. So have I maintained my lead, or have you made the dramatic comeback as we expect?
Well, you know, Justin, I made a little bit of a comeback last week, but it might be too little too late. I'm still down 12 games. Last week, you went 10-6 to improve your record to 168 and 87. And I went 13-3. Like I said, too little too late maybe for me.
Impressive.
So a good week, but that only brings me to 156 and 99. So I'm hoping that I can go undefeated this week so I don't have 100 losses on the year.
Yeah.
That would be great. And also that would probably mean I made a decent pass at you, you know. So I am still, as I said, 12 games back, Justin. There's 16 games left to play. So anything can happen. I might try and fade you on every single game this week. We'll see how that works out. And hopefully, fingers crossed for a miracle.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the strategy here could be, Jake. I mean, you might have to purposefully pick against me in every pick just to hold out that hope. It's been a good run for us here. I don't know what the average is or what the average win percentage rate is on picking every game in the NFL this year, but I like to think we did pretty good. I think we did a pretty good job. I think
we're
over
smart
500 people here at Titans Tube. Geniuses, some would say. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, all right. If you want to get right into it, we got a couple Saturday games, Jake, to start off week 18, both with possible seeding or playoff implications. First one on the docket is Chiefs at Denver. The Denver Broncos are eliminated, but the Chiefs are sitting in that 2 spot. With a win, they will be keeping their fingers crossed and hope that the Titans, Derrick Henry breaks another foot, Tannehill turns the ball over 4 times, whatever it would take for the Titans to lose again to the Texans. Chiefs would have the number 1 seed in the AFC, Jake. So can they go on the road and take care of a Denver team who really has nothing left to play for at this time? Who you got?
I am going to take the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know how that will play into my fading, scenario, trying to fade you on each game. But I'm going to take the Chiefs. You said it. Denver's got nothing left to play for. And the Chiefs are going to come out and hope that the Houston Texans can pull out another one on the Tennessee Titans this year. So definitely Chiefs have something to play for and something to prove in that division, I think, especially with the Raiders and Chargers game that will be on Sunday night. That'll be an interesting watch as well. I think KC has bundled up the division, though. But, you don't want those division little brothers nipping at your heels, Justin, as we know all too well. I got the Chiefs.
Oh, very true. I hate to do it to you, Jake, but I got to just go with my pick here in the Kansas City Chiefs.
That's fair.
It's exactly for the reasons you said. I mean, they've got a lot to play for, a lot of reason to get hyped and motivated to go out and get a win on the road. And I think they get it done against Denver as well. Give me the Chiefs. Hopefully there's nothing to fear, though, for Titans fans, because we're going to get it done against Houston, right? I think we said that like a month and a half ago, but we all know how that played out. But all right, so Saturday night game, divisional matchup here. Cowboys at Eagles. Cowboys already have that division locked up. And how about the Philadelphia Eagles getting themselves into the NFC playoffs this year? In my opinion, I feel like that's a year early, maybe. So good on them to get their season right on track. And maybe they can make some noise in the playoffs. And you know what, Jake? I'm going to go ahead and take the Eagles at home. I think they're looking to continue their momentum right now. And the Cowboys, I don't know how much they can be affected by a win or loss, because I think they're the 4 seed with the Rams, Packers, and Bucks ahead of them. They don't have the tiebreaker on the Bucks, I know, because they lost a close week 1 game against them. I'm not sure how they would fare against the Rams in a tie-breaking scenario. So I feel like they're pretty locked into that 4 spot, and they may just try to play this one safe, not get any of their starters, risking an injury. And something like that could happen. But maybe I'm missing something. Maybe they do have some seedings to play for, but I'm still going to go with the Eagles at home here. I like what they've been doing. I'm glad. I'm trying to think of a joke to make about the railing falling over in
Oh,
Washington
no,
and
Justin.
almost crushing Jalen.
Nobody
Hurts.
got hurt, so I guess it's
No
kinda
one's
funny.
hurt. So yeah, so we're okay there. So hopefully nothing like that happens in Philadelphia. Anyway, I got Eagles. JP.
I'm going to take the Cowboys on the road. I'm not sure the sourcing of this. I heard it through, hearsay. I feel like I heard that Philadelphia is sitting some starters this week because they're pretty locked into where they're at. So I'll take the Cowboys on the road and try, and for them not to go into the playoffs on a 2-game losing streak, Justin. So hopefully there's my number one fade game there. I just need 11 more to go my way.
All right. Hey, I like it. Let's move on here to Sunday. We got the AFC North champion Cincinnati Bengals on the road against the Cleveland Browns. All right. I've got a few things to say about this matchup, actually, Jake. So it's been said that Cincinnati is resting or not playing Joe Burrow or Joe Mixon, and possibly some other big-time players. And we know the Browns, I don't think, are going to be playing Baker, so I have no idea what's going to happen in this game. What I wanted to say, though, is are the Bengals possibly playing some, 3D, 4D chess, checkers, matchup mind games here by maybe potentially losing this game, Jake? Because if they are the 4 seed, they get to, host a home game against in the wild card, would take a matchup in Nashville against the Titans, as opposed to if they were the 3 seed, they would be going to Kansas City. And I think after that last game against Kansas City, they barely pulled it out. I think some questionable calls, and it was this and that. And they barely nudged out the Chiefs in that game. I think the Chiefs will be out for blood if they have the Cincinnati Bengals coming into Arrowhead in the playoffs. And I think Cincinnati, and maybe for good reason and would be smart to, want to avoid that matchup and try to hedge your bets against, we think a very, very good, solid, and deserving number 1 seed in the AFC Tennessee Titans team. So maybe I'm going crazy. Maybe that's just crazy talk, but I just thought it was odd that they're sitting Burrow and Mixon and getting rested or healthy for the playoffs when you have some major seeding in the playoffs on the line. I mean, they could be, we'll see. I mean, what if the Chiefs lose to the Broncos? The Bengals have that tiebreaker, and if they're like, oh, whoops, just kidding, Joe Burrow, can you please play? Because now we can grab the 2 seed. I just think it's a little premature. There's a lot to play for if you're a Cincinnati Bengals fan. So I was maybe, I don't know, maybe this was expected, but I just think it's a little premature to pull the plug on Joe Burrow when there could potentially be a lot to play for here, Jake. All that said, I'll without Burrow and whatever, I'll guess I'll take the Browns at home. I think, they're just kind of looking ahead to the playoffs now, apparently. So I think the Browns will close out their season at home with a win. But I don't know. What do you think about my theory?
I like your 4D chess theory. And, we talked about this briefly in the Dolphins recap, but Bengals fans and the Bengals franchise should not be trying to pick who they want in the playoffs. They haven't won a playoff game since 1990, Justin. That is 8 years before I was born. I've never witnessed a Bengals playoff victory in my life. So they shouldn't be playing 4D chess to try and get a favorable matchup in the playoffs. They got to worry about winning first and getting past that first round. So I'm going to take the Bengals. Why not? I'll go 4D chess, and you know what? I'm just going to start fading you whenever you pick first, and I'm going to try my best to get there. I got the Bengals, even without Joe Burrow.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right. Okay. Let's just move on to the next game here. Hey, you could go against me here because we got the Packers at Detroit to play the Lions. They have the 1 seeds locked up. So the question is, how much are we expecting Aaron Rodgers to play? How much game planning and scheming are the coaches, throwing into this meaningless game for them? Are they going to be resting starters? I haven't heard if they are or aren't, but you could talk me into a Lions win, Jake, and I'll give you that chance. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and take the Packers to get it done on the road. It seems like an easy, safe pick, even with maybe some starters sitting this one out. But I'll take Green Bay. How about you?
I think Aaron Rodgers is going to play. At least maybe a first half. I don't know. I feel like that's a little bit ill-advised, but Matt LaFleur has come on the horn and said he doesn't want to give his star players 3 weeks off. It's always the rest versus rust debate that rages on every single year in the NFL. You know what? I'm not going to try and talk you into a Lions victory because I talked myself into a Lions victory, Justin. Even if Aaron Rodgers plays, they might take him out at halftime. It could be a ho-hum thing. And maybe Detroit gives their home fans a nice little present at the end of the year and say, we're sorry for the season, but at least we can knock out the Packers at home. So whatever. I'll take the Lions at home, man.
Yeah. I think the Lions, you should be happy with any kind of victory against Green Bay that you can get, regardless of if it hurts your draft stock or whatever.
Yeah.
The victories against the Packers are few and far between for Lions fans. But we'll see. I like that you went Lions in that game, though. We'll see how it plays out. 2 teams in the NFC out of the playoff picture. We got the Bears at the Vikings. Don't really know what's going on with these teams. And, here's a factoid I saw. The Bears won 2 games ago with Mike Glennon. No, not Andy Dalton. Nick Foles. They won with Nick Foles. Last week, they win with Andy Dalton. If they win again this week with Justin Fields, they'll be the first team in NFL history to get 3 straight wins, all with 3 different starting quarterbacks, I believe is that stat. So, sure, I'll go for it. I'll take the first in NFL history here with the Chicago Bears. Let's go Justin Fields. Make it happen. I'll take the Bears. What about you?
I like that. I like that little weird stat factoid. I'm a big fan of those, Justin. I appreciated that. And here's another weird maybe stat factoid, or I don't know what Mike Zimmer's job status is. I don't know how hot his seat is. I haven't really heard much out of Vikings, camp or anything like that. But he might be coaching for his job. And maybe if he picks up this late one against a limping to the barn Chicago Bears team, he might do some good in the ownership's eyes, floating around that 500 mark. We'll see, man. We'll see. I will take the Minnesota Vikings at home to beat the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, that's a good point. We're seeing 2 coaches here that are probably going to be looking for new employment after this game, after the season has come. But we'll see. I kind of like Mike Zimmer as a head coach, honestly. He just, he's had a down year this year. But we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen there. Another meaningless divisional game. We got the Washington Admirals, Jake, against the New York Giants in New York. Leak drop. Boomer Esiason with the Admirals drop. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that name, but it's we'll call them that for this episode. The Admirals. Sure, they get the win on the road. I'm seeing nothing good from the Giants right now. They're just trying to get to the offseason. Give me Washington. They got more talent and a better quarterback, and that's that. That's all I got to say about this game.
Justin, I was considering a trip to our nation's capital next season because the Titans do play at Washington Admirals or football team or Red Hogs or whatever it may be.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I feel like Admirals could be a smokescreen. But I've been reading and researching and watching YouTube videos about how bad the football team stadium is. The FedEx Field. And it's just really changed my perception of that franchise. Not that I had a positive one, because obviously Dan Schneider emails how that organization is run, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Didn't have a very positive view of that organization. But you know what? I'm taking that off the table. I don't want to support Dan Schneider or the Washington football team at all. Give me the Giants, Justin. I got the Giants at home getting the win and limping to the barn.
Oh, my gosh. I love it. I love it. Yeah, Dan Schneider. Oh, man. Can somebody take this franchise from that guy? It just seems one bad decision and scandal after another. Anyway, maybe the Giants can help make that happen by getting a win. Let's move on. AFC South. We got the Colts at the Jags. How incredible it would be if the Jags rallied. And it wouldn't be that incredible, Jake. Colts have not won in Jacksonville since 2014. So The incredible thing would be if the Colts beat the Jags, apparently. But my God, Jake, the Jags 50-10 might as well have been nothing against the Patriots. They're 15-point home dogs in this game. Surely they're just trying to get to the offseason after a miserable season with Urban Meyer and everything that went down there and underperforming at every level. I'll take the Colts as much as it pains me. It would be so beautiful to see the Jags win and the Colts to get bounced from the playoffs like that, but I just can't see it happening. Give me the Colts here. What about you?
I did some quick math in my head there, Justin. That is 6 straight Jacksonville Jaguar victories over the Indianapolis Colts at home.
Incredible.
You know what? Let's make it a lucky number 7, baby. I'm going to take the Jags in this one. I love a home dog. Maybe you can give me the Jags plus 15 line here due to fading purposes. I need a little bit of charity to maybe get back in this, but I'll take the Jags at home. It's since the boogeyman Andrew Luck left town, the Colts can't beat the Jags or the Titans, really. Knock on wood. We might see them in the playoffs. Might regret that. But whatever. Give me the Jags at home. Incredible winning streak. I love that stat.
Yeah, it's amazing. Aside from the sweeping the Colts this year and us beating the Jags on a regular basis, it's weird how the Jags fare much, much better against the Colts than the Titans have in the past 20 years, honestly, all the way back to the start of the division, the AFC South. So, man, maybe it's just some weird juju. They can get it going again against these Colts. But okay, let's move on. Another big matchup. Wow, who expected to see a Steelers and Ravens matchup here, Jake, where both teams, given the Colts can take care of business, will be left out of the playoffs? I bet the schedule makers were like, ooh, this is definitely going to be playoff implications here. But technically, they're both alive. They're both not eliminated. They need the Colts loss. And I think the Raiders and Chargers to not tie, something weird like that. So they're still alive. Still no Lamar, though. Big Ben, it's his last game, possibly. Unless, of course, they somehow make the playoffs. It'll definitely be his last game. I'll take the Steelers on the road, Jake. I don't know. I mean, I know Tyler Huntley's been doing pretty good for the Ravens, stepping in there. But, I don't know. I think the Steelers will give it one last hoorah, one last push for Big Ben. To keep that slim chance alive for a playoff berth. Sure, I'll take the Steelers on the road. What about you?
I like it. And you know what? Big Ben got his kind of last hoorah last week, in my opinion. As much as I want him to leave Heinz Field with an L, just because of my personal vendetta against the Pittsburgh Steelers for whatever reason. It didn't happen. Didn't happen that way. And so I'm going to pick his last hoorah in Baltimore to be a loss. And Big Ben will end his career with an L to the young startup Tyler Huntley. I mean, hats off to him. He's been playing good football. People are making the joke there's a quarterback controversy now in Baltimore. But, I'll take the Baltimore Ravens. And I'm also just still picking against you. So I'm actively trying to talk myself into these picks as I pick them.
I know. Hey, it's kind of working against me, mentally. I'm like, oh, that was a good point. Oh man, maybe the Lions can. Oh yeah, the Ravens. I mean, yeah, you're kind of talking me into thinking I'm making some horrible picks out here. But I mean, I think this game could go either way, honestly. Both of these teams are equally mediocre. So kind of a coin flip there. Let's move on to the New Orleans Saints at the Atlanta Falcons. This is an interesting game, Jake. All the Saints need, I think everyone's kind of just writing off the Saints. Yeah, they're not a playoff team. They're done. They've had way too many injuries. It's just a fluke. They've been hanging around. All they need to happen is they need to beat the Falcons in Atlanta, and they need a 49ers team to lose in Los Angeles against a very good Rams team. And that's such a likely scenario. When we could see a 9-8 Saints team with who knows playing quarterback. Is it Taysom Hill still? I'm not sure.
Neither am I. Ian Book.
Ian Book. Oh, yeah. Dude, I'm sorry. No offense to Ian Book, but if you guys want to make a playoff berth, you can have to do something else at the quarterback position against these Falcons. But as much as we like Arthur Smith and what the wins that he's been able to put together here for the Falcons this year, I'm kind of into it. I'm kind of into this weird Saints team clinching a playoff berth. And I'm kind of rooting for that scenario. I'll take it. Sean Payton, how about it? 9-8, getting to the playoffs still a year after no Breeze and Jameis Winston tearing his ACL and amongst other injuries. And I don't know what's going on with Michael Thomas. I keep forgetting he's even in the picture. It feels like so long since he's played. All this top talent, he hasn't had it with them. And all he is a Falcons win, a win against the Falcons, and then a Rams win to yet again clinch a playoff spot. I'm here for it. I've got the Saints. What about you?
I will also be here for it, Justin. I don't want to fade every single pick. I want to make some rationale. And just a quick snippet of a story time. I might be a closet Saints fan just because I remember one of my earliest football watching memories is when they reopened the Superdome after Hurricane Katrina, and the Saints blocked that punt and the place went ballistic. And I was like, wow, football is cool. Because like there was this huge lead up, obviously, devastation in New Orleans. They reopened the Dome. The Dome was such like a symbol of hope. And to have that happen so early in the game, like that was pretty cool for me to see. And that really kickstarted my football watching time, really. So I'm going to take the Saints in this one. I don't think that's too outlandish. But closeted Saints fan, I would also like to see them in the playoffs.
Hey, I'm with you. I've always been a Breeze guy. I've always liked Drew Brees. And then Alvin Kamara coming out of UT and being one of the most exciting players in the NFL, that's made me low-key in the closet root for the Saints here and there, maybe subconsciously, but kind of consciously. I dig the Saints. And so, maybe we're a little biased in picking them to win here against the Falcons. But I think they can get it done. We both do, apparently. Let's move on here. It's pretty much just straight-up divisional matchups going on. Jets at the Bills. Ooh, the Jets almost got a victory last week against Tom Brady and the Bucs. Who saw that coming? But I think the Bills, they're going to be laser focused. All they got to do is win, and they will clinch this division, hosting a playoff game. And they're playing much better than they were at the midpoint in the season. I got the Bills for sure getting this dub against New York. How about you?
Yeah, I'm also going to take the Buffalo Bills. I can't quite stretch and use my imagination enough to pick the New York Jets in this game. You said it, laser focused, winning in kind of situation. And they sure as hell don't want to give the division to the New England Patriots. So, I got Buffalo as well.
All right. Both going Buffalo. And here we are at this 49ers at Rams game, Jake. I feel like the Rams are locked into the 2 seed, right? I mean, they got Tampa Bay behind them, but they own that tiebreaker. Well, if Tampa Bay's also 12, they're 12-4 as well. So they could lose this one. Bucks win. Rams would drop to the 3 seed. They probably don't want that to happen. So they're going to be playing, all hands on deck here. And, since I did say I am kind of rooting for that Saints to get into the playoff scenario. 49ers aren't a bad team by any means. It's interesting what Trey Lance came in and was able to do for them. That a little spark there possibly. In their win against the Texans, where really they only gave up 7 points, and it was a great defensive effort on the 49ers part in that game. But the 49ers could be a decent playoff team. They're a decent, wild card kind of contender there, who might be able to go on the road and score an upset in the playoffs, perhaps. But all that to say, I'm kind of digging the Saints scenario here. So I got the Rams to win and to kind of make that happen. So give me the Rams at home. How about you?
You know what? I'm going to take the San Francisco 49ers. I don't know what happens in the event of a Saints win and a 49ers win. But, just to kind of junk up the scenario and pick against you a little bit, I also like the 49ers, man. I'm not sure why they haven't been able to get over the hump this year. I haven't watched a whole lot of 49ers football. It seems like Jimmy G might not be the guy just based off of the Thursday night game we watched a couple of weeks ago. But I'll go ahead and take San Francisco this week. I like them. I feel like the Rams might be a little tiny bit checked out because they're really locked into the 2 or the 3. And once you get to that, you're kind of splitting the hairs, especially in week 18 as it stands. So give me the Niners for that reason, I suppose.
Hey, I'll take it. That works. And to answer your question, Niners are currently a game ahead. They're 9-7. Saints are 8-8. Okay. So if they both win, the Niners will definitely get that spot. So I guess did the Saints maybe beat the 49ers earlier this year? Or maybe they have like the conference game records tiebreaker or something like that. But Anyway, let's move on. So you got 49ers there. We got Patriots at Dolphins. Speaking of a team that's historically not really good against another divisional opponent, the Patriots, have had some bad juju going down to Miami. Going back to Tannehill days. I mean, Tannehill's gotten some wins when he was the Miami quarterback against the Patriots. It's kind of another odd thing where the Patriots just kind of have troubles. As much as they've dominated this division, sweeping the Dolphins on a yearly basis is not an easy task for them to do. But, man, we saw this Dolphins team last week, Jake. That offense needs some work. Maybe it does start with Tua. The weather surely is going to be better down in Miami this week than how it was in Nashville last week with the cold, rainy weather.
I would hope so.
Yeah. But, I got to go Patriots here, man. They're looking, to be a strong AFC playoff contender. Belichick's going to have them ready. And they're playing at the same time as Buffalo. So they're probably going to be thinking, win, and the division could still be ours. Fingers crossed for the Jets to somehow pull off an upset. But, I don't think Belichick could possibly lose this game against a Miami team who, just got eliminated. Kind of looking forward to the offseason at this point. So give me the Pats. How about you?
I am also going to go to the Pats, Justin. I don't know how many games I've picked the same as you on. That I might have mathematically eliminated myself throughout the course of this video. Yeah. Remains to be seen. But I'm also going to go with the Patriots. You said it. I think Miami's probably got their bags packed after the emotional, high and rising of a 7-game winning streak after a 7-game losing streak. And then the Titans took them out at their knees, and the Ravens didn't do them any help. And they were all of a sudden, boom, you won 7 games in a row, and all within the course of a couple hours, you're eliminated from the playoffs. So that's a tough drop off to have. And I agree, Bill Belichick's going to have the Pats ready to play.
All right. Sweep for the Pats here. Going to the NFC West, we got Seattle at Arizona. Again, I'm surely Arizona is locked into that top wild card spot at the 5 seed. So I'm not sure what exactly they could gain or lose by winning or losing this game. They're at home. I really don't know. Russell Wilson went off last game. I think he had 4 touchdowns to 0 turnovers. So he's, too little too late. It sucks that he got hurt earlier this year, or else maybe the Seahawks could have snagged a few more wins on the year. Sure, maybe the Seahawks will catch them sleeping, or maybe the Cardinals are sleeping on purpose because they want to get healthy before their first playoff game. Who knows how many starters we'll see if they'll play the whole game. But sure, I'll take Seattle to go on the road and score a little bit of an upset here, Jake. That's all I got for this game. What about you?
I'll take the easy fade and do the Arizona Cardinals, Justin. They're easy out of the NFC West, correct? I think the Rams locked it up last week. Interesting fall from grace for the Arizona Cardinals, especially as Titans fans, seeing them week 1 and then the hot start that they did have. The wheels might be falling off a little bit for the Arizona Cardinals. So we'll see, but I got them beating the Seahawks. Talk about a team that's had their bags packed for a couple of weeks. I'll take the Cardinals at home.
All right, Cardinals at home. Jake, I did have to do a little bit of digging just real quick right here, looking at the standings. And both the Rams and the Cardinals just have a little X mark by their name, which just means they've clinched the playoff berth. So the division is not won yet by these Los Angeles Rams. So they're definitely going to be coming into this game against San Francisco and trying to definitely leave no doubt and win that game and to lock up that division and 2 seed. Wow. Okay. I totally assumed that the Rams had that thing locked up.
Can't go back.
Yeah, I know we can't, but I'm glad we did get that corrected. Better late than never. Never. Yes. Got to be accurate here. We got just a few more games here, Jake. We got the Panthers at Tampa Bay. Oh Lord, the distractions that Antonio Brown causes has just built up completely. I'm sure. This is the least surprising thing to happen, but man, there could be something there. Sure, that's no way to storm off the field and shed all your clothes, but Tampa Bay could be in a little bit of trouble if they tried to force him to play when he wasn't healthy to play. I don't know if anything's ever going to come out of this story or not, but the biggest takeaway from this for me, Jake, is now Tom Brady is down Chris Godwin and Antonio Brown, now 2 of his favorite targets for this postseason. We saw how Tom Brady performed without his plethora of weapons just a few games ago, and he looked bad and they got beat. We know how that feels with our weapons not being available for Tannehill. So the Bucs could be in trouble trying to repeat as Super Bowl champions if any more of Tom Brady's weapons are going down. They're so deep though. They still got Mike Evans and Gronk. Good Lord, they could still get it done. Never bet against Tom Brady. But yeah, two big key weapons for them that won't be there for that offense. But they're going to get it done here at home against the Panthers. I can't even tell you the last time the Panthers won a football game, but I don't think they can get it done on the road here. Give me Tampa Bay. Are you going to fade me with the Panthers, Jake?
Ill-advised, very ill-advised, but is the distraction too much? Now Bruce Arians probably turning red as a lobster, man. He does that, and he's probably fuming. He's thinking about not this game. I don't know about Tom Brady. Like you said, take another weapon away from him, see what happens. Who knows? Maybe the Panthers, it's bags-packed season, Justin. Maybe the Panthers pull it off, and sure, why not? I'll take them. Wow. I gotta make something happen here. Keep pounding is what they say, and then they hit the drum. So I'll keep pounding myself.
It's a bold fade, Jake. A very bold fade with the Panthers. But hey, distractions. They're definitely a thing in the NFL. All right, let's move on to the final week that will be played of this regular season. Sunday night football game. We got the Chargers at the Raiders, both teams at 9-7. Ooh, man, I'll let you take this game first, Jake, because I really am not sure what to expect from either of these teams. I should have looked up who won the first matchup, but I didn't. So, that's on me and our poor preparation here at Titans Tube. The Chargers, at their best, look like they could be a premier AFC team, but they've just been so inconsistent. The Raiders have somehow rallied to save their season to this point after the John Gruden fiasco, after losing Henry Ruggs. How about Derek Carr kind of putting the team on his shoulders here? They are alive, and they are both in a win and end scenario. Jake, who do you have winning this game?
I cannot wait to watch this game, Justin. What a good finale they picked for the Sunday night game. The NFL knows what they're doing. And you know what? The NFL is also... It's all about storylines, Justin. And how about the storyline of the Las Vegas Raiders this season? First Gruden, and then the Henry Ruggs situation. And then you even have Damon Arnett. And I think there was another DUI by a Las Vegas Raider. And, there's something to be said about maybe putting a football team of, young millionaires in a town like Las Vegas. I'm sure that will be a hotly debated topic over the years if this kind of thing continues. But what a story. What a story of the entire team bouncing back after all of these pieces of adversity. You thought the Titans went through adversity this year with injuries and et cetera, with starting the most players. But man, the Raiders went through some real life stuff right in the middle of the season. And they've rallied to come back, have the win and in. And you know what? I'll take them at home. I'm riding the Raiders. R.I.P. John Madden. They're going to go out and really run for John.
How about it? Yeah.
So you know what? I got the Raiders at home just for the feel-good story aspect of a team that really recovered from some serious adversity.
Yeah. Hey, Mariota. Playoff Mariota. Who wants to see playoff Mariota? God, I kind of hope the Titans don't see the Raiders in the playoffs if the Raiders do win, because talk about a revenge game. Dumping Mariota for Tannehill, and if Mariota beats us in the playoffs somehow, and maybe Derek Carr goes down with an injury, it's going to make us look pretty dumb, pretty bad. That would be embarrassing. But you still love to see Mariota, have some success. Anyway, for my pick, it'd be dumb for us to sweep this game. I'll definitely take the Chargers on the road here, Jake. This is a high-octane powered offense. Justin Herbert. No fluke rookie year. He's got 35 passing touchdowns on the season with just 370 yards. He will eclipse 5,000 passing yards for the season. Wow. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Austin Eckler, lots of dangerous weapons here for the Chargers. They could be a team that could make some noise in the playoffs, but they do have to get it done against the Raiders here. And I'm with you. I'm really excited about this game. As long as the Colts beat the Jags, if the Jags beat the Colts, I want to see a tie. Because then both of those teams would make the playoffs. How crazy would that be for two teams to kind of put away the whole spirit of the game and competitiveness and do the logical, smart thing and be like, hey, we can both be in the playoffs here. We don't have to risk losing. Let's just, knee the ball for 60 straight minutes.
No reason to risk injury or any kind of thing like that, Justin. Let's just both get to the playoffs healthy. That's what you want for your division rival, right?
Yeah, right. So, I would love to see that happen just for the Colts fans to put their hair out. But I'm taking the Chargers. I will take the Chargers to go on the road and beat the Raiders. Yeah, it should be a good one. I feel like it's kind of a coin flip game. Chargers coming in as road favorites, though, by 3. So I think they do have the talented team, but there's just the more talented team. But the Raiders just have something going on with them right now. They're just, they're finding ways to win week in and week out. And this Chargers team, Jake, did recently drop a game to the Houston Texans. And I'll just use that as our little segue.
Great
segue. To our final pick of the week. Titans on the road against the Texans in Houston. Jake, for the 3rd straight year, they are going into the last game of the season in Houston with something to play for. I saw someone tweet this out. The first time it was just a win and in wild card playoff berth. Next year was a win and win the South. This year, it's a win and clinch the 1 seed. We are
That's progress.
Here. Yes.
That's progress. Truly.
Who needs to, wrap things up earlier in the year with a few games to go? That's lame. We do it every year against Houston, final game of the season. Maybe next year it's somehow it's a win against Houston and you're just going to be crowned Super Bowl champions. I don't know what the next step is.
That would be great.
Going into Houston for the next but to keep it kind of short and sweet, because we do have a preview video to come out with. Or of course, or I can't speak for you. You might want to fade me. I will cancel you, Jake, if you pick the Texans here. But I will take the Tennessee Titans. Obviously, on the road, we are getting the healthiest amount of players we've had all year, it feels like. Can you feel the White Walker himself bringing winter with him? The Derrick Henry return, the much anticipated return, Jake, is happening. And man, I'm kind of expecting him to play. We've gotten some hints. We've gotten some signs. We've had some quotes from Henry himself saying he didn't come here to rest. He came here to play ball. And if he's ready to play, he's going to come in and play. And man, how awesome would it be to see him still eclipse 1,000 yards for the season after missing half the season? Anyway, short and sweet. I got the Titans. We are healthy. This is a completely different Titans team from the one that faced Houston earlier this year. Jake, who do you have, sir?
I'm not going to fade you here, and that probably mathematically eliminates me from winning the pick series, Justin. So congratulations in advance for winning the pick series. Where I think we've each split a victory here. And you know what? I made this sticky note like a couple of videos ago. We just got to believe, man. The Titans are going to get the 1 seed. And what are they going to do with it? They're going to believe. And we're going to maybe go all the way, Justin. I feel it in my heart and soul. This team's defense is better than it's been in several years. You think back to maybe 2008 was the last time this defense was this good and this tenacious and this just like running into the ball and gang tackling and all that. You love to see it. And man, these Derrick Henry practice videos getting me off my rocker, and I am fully in. I am ready for the playoffs. I am ready to go clinch this 1 seed. I got the Titans winning in Houston, Justin, and congrats on winning the NFL Pick Series.
Oh, yes. And thank you. It's been another pleasure doing picks with you. Man, I like the Post-it note believe. I'm hoping, if enough players and fans see that, maybe that can be a thing that everyone wears. Well, that'll be like the fashion trend. You know how everyone has their AFC South champion gear?
Yeah, it's just a sticky note that goes on your head.
Yeah, for getting the 1 seed, I think the players should be passed out a free sticky note that says believe, and everyone's just going to be walking around the locker room, and that's what they're going to be repping.
That looks good. It's good.
What was it last year? It was like a 1 not done thing. Mm-hmm. I mean, and then we ended up getting done pretty fast with a first-round playoff exit. So let's not have that backfire again.
Like ONE and done, 1 and done.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah. Hopefully the Titans will get it done. And, this team has not fared well at all as the 1 seed historically. I think we are 0-2 in the playoffs as a 1 seed.
Third time's charm.
Yeah. Third time is the charm. Hopefully they can clinch it this week, though, get even healthier with Henry and all that. But, yeah, we'll see. We'll break that game down here shortly in our picks video. But that's going to do it. Another great year of picks. Playoff picks, we'll see. We'll discuss that off camera. If you don't see a playoff picks video, then we decided no on that. We are canceling that idea. But it's been good, Jake. It's been a good year again of weekly picks. And, I think I got revenge, right? We did pick playoff games last year, but that was more of a tie-breaking scenario. Yes. But then you ended up winning. So I got my vengeance. I got my revenge game, my revenge year on you.
That's fair. That's fair. And we'll see about the playoff picks. But, great year, Justin. Thank you for allowing me to pick NFL games haplessly. And even though I ended up losing by 10-plus games after we tied last year, I thought it would be a little closer coming down the pipe. But, hey, we did our best. And I think that's going to take us to the barn. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Stay tuned for the game preview. And let's tighten up. Everybody have a great football weekend. It's been a great NFL season. Thank you to everybody who's been along for the ride with us. Have a great football weekend for the very last time, unless your team's in the playoffs. Then we'll have better football weekends ahead, hopefully. So that's going to do it. Peace out, everybody.